Act 3 in Path of Exile 2 really starts to open things up, and honestly, it can feel a bit overwhelming at times. There are tons of areas to explore, side content to discover, and bosses that range from nice challenge to why am I dying so fast? Some of these fights are optional, but others are standing directly between you and finishing the act, and that's exactly where today's boss fits in. In this video, we're talking about how to beat the Queen of Filth, one of the more dangerous bosses you'll run into in Act 3. She can dish out massive damage in a very short time, and just when you think you've found a safe spot, she starts summoning minions and shrinking your breathing room even more. If you're struggling with positioning, timing, or just staying alive long enough to deal damage, don't worry. I'll break down what to watch out for and how to handle this fight step by step so you can take her down cleanly and move on with confidence. I'm quickly moving on to the video. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. If you are hunting down the Queen of Filth in Path of Exile 2, you will run into her during the first half of Act 3, hidden deep inside an area called the Apex of Filth. This zone is part of the Drowned City, and it is not exactly a relaxing walk. The entire area is packed with nasty enemies, so expect to fight your way through wave after wave before you even get close. The Queen of Filth herself is waiting on the opposite side of the map from where you enter, which means there is no shortcut and no easy skip. Think of this section as a warm-up for the boss fight, because by the time you reach her, your build, positioning, and patience will already be tested. When you are preparing to face the Queen of Filth in Path of Exile 2, the biggest thing you need to keep in mind is how cramped the arena really is. The fight takes place in a very small space, and on top of that, she is constantly covering the ground with dangerous effects that limit where you can safely stand. This makes movement a real test, because dodging one attack often means risking stepping straight into another hazard. You cannot just rely on reflexes here. You need to be aware of your positioning at all times and plan your movement carefully, or the arena will quickly feel like it is closing in on you. The Queen of Filth has a surprisingly varied set of attacks, and learning to read her cues right before she acts can easily be the difference between surviving the fight or getting sent back to the checkpoint. Most of her danger comes from how quickly her abilities overlap, especially in such a small arena. When she shouts "flatten," she is about to swing her hammer straight in front of her with serious force. This attack is actually one of the easier ones to deal with, as long as you do not dodge forward. Move to either side or backward and you will avoid the hit without much trouble. You will often hear her yell, "To your queen," or "Brethren," to me, and that is your signal that more enemies are about to join the fight. She summons a group of minions from the single entrance to the arena, and there is no way to stop it. The best response is to reposition early and be ready to handle extra pressure while still keeping an eye on her. Tenderize is a two-part hammer attack that can easily catch you off guard. She slams once, then flips her hammer and slams again, leaving a dangerous ground effect where the flip happens. Dodge to the side to avoid the damage, and be careful not to roll or dash back into the hazard afterward. With Grind You Up, she swings her arm sideways and then drives her hammer into the ground in front of her. This attack has a larger area of effect than it might look at first, so give it more space than you would the Flatten attack and dodge further away to stay safe. Rot is less frequent, but it can be very punishing if ignored. She creates a circular ground effect that applies various debuffs or damage types while you stand inside it. Even if it feels tempting to stay in and push damage, it is much safer to step out and wait for a cleaner opening. Finally, throughout the fight, lines of burning orange ground will appear across the arena. These can explode suddenly, starting from her position, or instantly if you stand on them. If you need to cross these lines, dodge over them sideways and do it quickly, reducing the chance of getting caught mid-movement when they detonate. The Queen of Filth is not a boss that usually forces you to heavily adjust your build, which is nice, because the real challenge here is not raw damage or complicated mechanics. Most of her attacks are fairly readable and easy to dodge on their own, but the fight becomes dangerous when everything starts overlapping in a small space. The single most important thing in this fight is watching where you stand at all times. Large portions of the arena will be covered in negative ground effects for most of the encounter, and stepping into one by accident can quickly end the run. Positioning matters more than aggression here. Only attack when you know it is safe to do so, and do not rush your damage windows. This fight rewards patience far more than greed, especially since the area of effect damage is usually easy to avoid if you stay calm. Multiple ground effects can stack together and take you from full health to 0 in seconds if you are careless. When the Queen of Filth summons her minions, it can be tempting to ignore them and focus on her health bar instead. That approach usually backfires because the arena is already limited by hazards, and those enemies will occupy the few safe spots you have left. Deal with her minions quickly and deliberately, even if it costs you a short damage window on the boss. Clearing them gives you room to move, reduces incoming damage, and makes it much easier to react to the Queen of Filth's next attack without getting boxed in. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.